What's up, you guys? Welcome to our live stream for the month of August. It is August 31st, last day of the month. Actually, we probably did another live stream earlier this month, but we wanted to do another one for the end of this month because we have some couple of exciting announcements that we wanted to make sure we get across before the end of the month. So if you're just joining us, welcome, and good to see there's quite a few people on YouTube now. We're having some technical difficulties on Facebook if you're trying to join us from our Facebook event. But we're going to try to figure that out and see if we can get that live and going. But in the meantime, if you are watching this on YouTube, welcome. We're also live on Instagram as well. So I'll be checking on my phone to see any Instagram questions that might come in. But I already see a lot of people here from different parts of the country, from Phoenix, from Albuquerque, Bakersfield, California, Miami here, Arkansas, Memphis, Houston, Charlottesville, Virginia. Awesome, great. So great to see a lot of people joining from all different areas. So today's topic is going to be how to overcome the fear of failure when starting out in the apparel in the apparel decoration industry. So I'll kind of be talking over some points there later on towards this live stream, because we've been getting a lot of questions, and I've been getting a lot of questions recently from people just kind of being afraid of starting out in this business and a little bit scared of failure. What if they don't know something? What if they don't have any business or customers? And I kind of want to maybe address some of those points here on kind of some tips that I've found over the years of how to kind of cope with the fear of failing. So we'll kind of dive into that in a little bit. But before we kind of get started, just making sure that everything is working okay. So if you can give a quick thumbs up to this video. If you're joining us from YouTube, just letting us know that the audio and video is working great and that you can hear and see me okay before we get started. And then we also have a couple of announcements that we wanted to make, hence the reason why we wanted to do this before the end of the month, do a second live stream before the end of the month. And so the first thing I wanted to mention, for some of you that might be following us on social or have seen or are on our email list, you probably have noticed that we have launched our Labor Day promotion. So if you don't know that, now you know on this live stream. And that's going to happen. That started last Friday. It will go all the way till next Friday, which will encompass 2 whole weeks of a sale that we have for Labor Day. We have a couple of great things going on for both the on the different embroidery machine packages that we offer here. So we kind of want to pull that up on the screen. We are offering 0% financing for as low as $135 per month on our embroidery machines. You can get an EM1010, start out with an EM1010 with that price, or you can kind of pay a bit more and upgrade to a 15 or 20 needle commercial machine, as well as get free shipping on all of our machines up to $1,500. So the larger machine you order, the more you're going to save on the shipping. If you're ordering like a multi-head machine, it can easily save you upwards of $1,200 to $1,500 in the shipping alone. Not only that, we're also giving you free upgrades for digitizing software, our own Chroma digitizing software. A lot of people have been asking about Chroma and joining a lot of our webinars, by the way, that we host on a weekly basis. We have at least 2 or 3 different webinars that's able to be accessed by our customers on our customer portal. And a lot of people have been asking about Chroma upgrades, learning the more advanced features of Chroma. So during this promotion, you actually get a free Chroma upgrade to the next tier if you purchase a commercial single head machine. So any 15 needle or 20 needle commercial single head machines, you will get a free upgrade to Chroma Plus, which is the second highest tier of Chroma. And if you purchase a commercial multi-head machine, so 2 heads and up, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, or even 12 heads, you get a free upgrade to Chroma Lux, which is about $2,000 in value. All right, you still get Chroma Inspire with all of your packages, including an EM1010. But if you buy a commercial single head or a commercial multi-head machine, you can get either Plus or Lux upgrade for free. Okay, so that is the promotion that we have going on. On top of that, as I mentioned, free shipping going on for all of our machine packages as well. And all of our machines come with everything that you need to get started, including all the supplies, like a starter kit with threads, backing, needles, as well as any training that you would need. You would get access to our very exclusive Ricoma Connect Facebook group, where you get to connect with other Ricoma members that have our products, and you can share your knowledge and ask questions there, as well as 7 days and after-hour support, as many of you have known. Something that we really pride ourselves on, and making sure that you get the right support and help that you need even on a weekend, so you don't have to wait till a Monday to get that question answered. All right, so that's kind of the promotion that we have going on for Labor Day. Again, if you're interested in checking any of that out, make sure you click the link that our team had posted in the comments in the chat section on YouTube, and get in touch with the product specialist so they can kind of guide you towards the right machine that will fit those needs. Okay, beyond just the embroidery machine packages, we also have a sale going on our online shop at shop.ricoma.com, where you can get a lot of heat presses, sewing machines, and embroidery accessories to complement your purchases. That we do have 10% off on all heat presses and sewing machines. Many people use our sewing machines to to stitch on different embroidered patches onto caps. So that's a great way to use a sewing machine that can do that. And then also, heat press, if you have, if you're in the printing business or heat transfer business, or, sometimes you can heat transfer, heat activated patches onto caps as well. So there's two ways to kind of either sew it on or heat press it on. So those are good tools to help you do those things. 10% off of any heat press and sewing machine plus free shipping. That's going on for the duration of the Labor Day sale, as well as 20% off of Chroma digitizing software. So if you already have a machine and you want to upgrade to a next tier of Chroma, or just purchase Chroma outright for maybe another license, or you're looking to, you don't have our machine but you have another machine, it can Chroma can digitize in many different formats. So you can, if you're looking to purchase Chroma, you get 20% off of Chroma as well. Okay, so that's kind of the sale that we have on the shop. So if you're interested to check that out, go to shop.ricoma.com and take advantage of 10% off of heat presses and sewing machines, and 20% off of any embroidery machine accessories and Chroma software. So the embroidery machine accessories, like the 8-in-1, which is a really popular one, and the belt hoop, those things that can help you kind of do more with your embroidered products if you're looking to expand your variety of offerings. All right, so that's on the shop. And then last but not least, we do have a flash sale for DecoSummit. You probably saw the intro video before we entered our live stream about DecoSummit. It is happening this year, October 7th to 9th, here in Miami, Florida, in the DoubleTree Hotel by the airport. And people, close to 300 people have already registered for the event. So tickets are going to sell out very, very quickly, and so we're kind of near capacity for a lot of our VIP classes, as well as our general tickets as well. Those are running out, and today is the last day, being the last day of the month, and about 1 month left till the event. Today is the last day before prices go up again. It already went up again about 1 month ago, and it will go up again at the end of tonight. So going up starting on September 1st, prices will go up another $200. So this is your last chance to take advantage of lower prices. But also on top of that, we are doing a flash sale for an additional 10% off of of DecoSummit tickets if you use the coupon code DECO10 that you see on your screen there. That's DECO10. If you use the coupon code DECO10, you get an additional 10% off of reduced ticket prices before they go up another $200 tomorrow. Okay, so Today is really the last day to get the lowest prices that these tickets will be before the event, because once September 1st comes around, ticket prices will go up, and then it will be at full price before the 1 month leading up to the actual event. Okay, and as I mentioned, close to 300 people have already signed up. A lot of people purchased VIP tickets, and so they got access to the hands-on training that you can sign up for different slots. You get an email to do that. Many of those that have purchased VIP tickets have already gotten that email and have signed up for those slots. And those slots, once it's filled up, that's it, because there's only a certain number of VIP classes that we're able to offer, because you need actual machines in there and trainers and hands-on training that's going to be dedicated to a specific class. So those classes are filling up, so if you're interested, make sure you get in early on those DecoSummit VIP tickets as well. All right, if you're looking to just do the general admission track, you can also buy the GA tickets. Those are going to be on sale for 10% off today as well, before prices go up tomorrow. Okay, so that's it for the kind of the sales announcements that I have. And then before we get into today's topic, I just wanted to also mention that we will be giving away a free DecoSummit GA ticket at the end of this live stream. So if you're here on the live stream, then you will be eligible to qualify for that giveaway, for that drawing at the end of this live stream, and we'll announce the winner at the end of this live stream. Okay? All right. So with that said, let's jump into today's topic of how to overcome the fear of failure when starting out in the custom apparel industry. So as I mentioned, the context of this and the reason why I wanted to talk a bit about this topic is because we've been getting a lot of questions about, just starting out in the business and mitigating risk, and the fear of not having enough customers, or not being able to make your monthly payments on your machine, or investing into a machine that you're not able to use because you don't have enough orders, or whatever the case is, right? There are a lot of different reasons why people might fear failing in this business, and that might deter them from jumping in. So this kind of mindset that I'll be talking to you about is really a mindset that I've experience I've taken on over the years, that might not necessarily only apply to the apparel decoration business. It can really apply to business overall, but I think can definitely help apparel decorators that are looking to start out in this business, or even take the next step in their business, maybe scaling it, or maybe just taking a little bit more risk to grow their business further. All of this mindset can really apply to kind of have you overcome that fear and then take that next step, right? Whether you're starting out or whether you're looking to scale your business. So the first thing that I would mention is that I've obviously had personal experience with this, right? Running a company, growing a company as well. There's obviously a lot of risks that are involved. I've also started my own startup in the past, and doing a startup, as many of you are starting out, it's definitely very nerve-wracking, especially when starting out, you're trying to acquire your first customer, you're trying to build a product, and all of those can be very daunting. And definitely the fear of failure has definitely crossed my mind during those days, and even now as well. I think the first thing that I want to mention is that fear really never goes away, and I think it's a good thing that it kind of keeps you on your toes and keeps you kind of not satisfied with the status quo, to keep on pushing the boundaries to make sure that your business and your personal development can grow. So I think in a way, that fear of failure is also, it's always going to be there, especially if you're really looking to be successful in the business. I would say that you don't want that fear to be overly burdensome and deter you from growing your business, but knowing and coming to terms with the fact that running a business does have risks, starting a business does have risks, and being fearful of that failure is natural. I think you first and foremost need to come to terms with that and be okay with that feeling, right? Be comfortable with that feeling. That being said, I'm going to give you guys, some tips that I found to be personally helpful in coping and dealing with that fear, especially when a big problem arises, or a fire needs to be put out and you're kind of scrambling to find the solution. Obviously, that's when that kind of fight or flight response kicks in, and that fear kicks in. How you should deal with that. So the first thing that I would mention, and the first tip that I would give you guys, is to always separate kind of your personal life with your business life. And I found this to be especially true because I've made that mistake in the past, where you kind of carry over the emotions or the problems of the business into your personal life, right? And it definitely affects and rubs off on those that are around you, and they're negatively impacted by your emotions or your feelings or your levels of stress, right? So you want to make sure that you kind of first and foremost separate that, so you don't affect your personal life just because of what's happening in the business. You want to keep a clear segmentation and separation of that. And I've personally made that mistake in the past, where it definitely affected a lot of those that are around me, and it creates a certain level of stress on those relationships that you have with family and friends. So you want to make sure that is separate first and foremost. And I think that helps you kind of keep organized and streamlined in terms of your thought process, in that, okay, the problems in the business stays in the business, and then your personal relationships are not impacted by those problems. That's something that I really found to be especially helpful in times of stress and in times of like that fear of failure, to keep those things separate. So that's the first thing that I would mention to you guys. Let me know in the comments below if what you think about that, and what your current experiences is. Do you kind of sometimes unknowingly or subconsciously carry over some of those emotions and problems into your personal life, and is that something that you would want to keep separate? I would really think that it would really benefit not only your personal relationships, but I think in a way will also benefit your business by keeping a clear mind and not have kind of your personal life interfere with your business problems, and vice versa. So I think that's something that I've had to personally come to terms with and realize and make adjustments for down the road. All right. The second thing that I would mention is, in terms of failure, or the fear of failure, there are also different coping mechanisms that and everyone is different in this aspect, right? You want to find what's best suited for you. So in my personal experience, I found that it is super helpful if I'm stressed, or if I have this big problem that seems to be unsolvable, and which, by the way, there's really no problem that's really unsolvable. I haven't come across any single business problem that's not able to be solved, right? It might take time, it might take money, it might take resources to solve it, but I have yet to come across a business problem that can't be solved. So knowing that every problem has a solution, you just got to have a clear mind to think about it. One of the things that I found super helpful is to be able to kind of get a clear mind. So I tend to, if I have a big problem that has popped up, or something that's keeping me up at night, I tend to just not think about it for that night, and just get a good night's sleep. And I found that you really have a fresh new perspective the very next day to approach the problem. Many times you might be overwhelmed, or find that the problem is unsolvable, and in that moment, because of the emotions that you're going through when that problem is presented. But many times, if you have a good night's sleep, and you just really don't worry about it, and move on from it. Take a nice hot shower and just go to bed, and you'll find that next morning you'll wake up with a fresh mindset, and sometimes with very new solutions or new approaches to solving that problem that you otherwise might be clouded in your judgment by your emotions the previous day, right? So that's something that I found to be super helpful for me to cope with a problem or a stressful situation. I just get a good night's sleep, and then I realize the next morning that that problem is not a problem at all, and it just takes a set of steps. It might take time, and it might take resources to accomplish it and solve that problem, but it is doable. And then you go about it approaching it in a fresh new mindset, and you're able to kind of carry out the execution of that solution, so that you're not clouded by any judgment. And sometimes when you're clouded by your emotions or your stress at the time the problem is present, it might lead you down the wrong path, and you might actually not have the most optimal answer or solution to that problem. So that's why I really want to encourage people to get a clear mind before they approach a problem like that. All right, so let me know in the comments if that's something that you can you can resonate with, if that coping mechanism is something that you find helpful, or let me know in the comments what you personally do when a problem arises. What are your coping mechanisms to deal with that, fear of failing or that problem that pops up? Do you go ahead and just take a run and get a good sweat in and just that's able to relieve some stress? Or what are some other ways that you guys have found to be helpful for you to cope with stress? And as I said, there's no cookie cutter approach. Everyone's different, and you just gotta find what's best for you. I've just personally found just getting a good night's sleep will just give me a super fresh new perspective the next day on the problem at hand. Yeah, so Candace Garza says, I found that when I post that I get a response from other members, just that interaction alone might help. Yeah, I mean, just kind of, I hate to use the word complain. You don't want to complain about your problems. It's the same thing as bringing your problems from the business into your personal life, right? Like, even though it's you might not know this person, it might just be another stranger or a group member or someone that shares a common interest with you. It's really not a good vibe overall when people complain about, they approach the problem in the way to just vent or complain. Like, if you need to vent or complain, like, that's first and foremost not the right approach to go about solving that problem, because venting and then complaining is not going to bring the solution. Many times, bouncing ideas off of other people, bouncing ideas off of whether it's family members or friends or other people that are more experienced in the business or have done through that before. That's why it's so important to have mentors, right, and guidance there. But bouncing ideas off of other people can definitely help to gain a new perspective that you might not otherwise had. So that's something that is, I think can definitely help. I would just caution not to go in the way of, just to complain and get it off your chest, because it kind of affects other people around you as well, not only your friends and family, but also the people that you're posting to. Like, nobody wants to really kind of, hear about other people's problems and to hear other people complain, right? I think many people are willing to help if you have a descriptive problem that you can articulate and describe to them what is it that you need help with. I think a lot of people are willing to help, but nobody wants to just be a punching bag just to hear you complain about stuff. So I think that's a key distinction between asking other people for advice versus just complaining and venting to others in hope of a response. Okay, all right, and then the last tip that I will give you guys is that the fear of failure, as I mentioned, really never goes away, and you really have to be comfortable with the fact that this is not your last rodeo, right? Even if you fail this time around, if you truly are dedicated to your craft and dedicated to being successful in a particular business, like, that failure shouldn't deter you from pursuing that opportunity. That failure shouldn't deter you from expanding or starting your business, because I think real entrepreneurs and real business owners, they kind of thrive in the presence of failure. I don't think any successful business owner has ever not had any failure and just all successes. Like, that never really happens. And even the biggest moguls in business and in any industry, can probably has more failures than successes that they can count, right? But it's those failures that have really taught them the steps or the blueprint to gain that experience to be successful. So I would say that the fear of failure, one, it never goes away, and two, I think you should be really comfortable with that fear at all times, and knowing that if you do fail, it doesn't really matter. Like, so what? You just move on to your next endeavor, and you pivot and you adapt and you make changes. And then even if you fail, 50 times in a row, there are many instances of successful people that they fail 50 times in a row, did not give up, and on the 51st time, they struck gold, right? So you never know when that is going to come. But if you truly enjoy the process and you're not just in it for some kind of short-term get rich quick sort of scheme, then this shouldn't really matter to you, the time frame in which you achieve it. You should really be patient about it and continue to iterate and to change and adapt and improve your business and your processes to make sure that you can get to that successful point. And trust me when I say this, that even when you I also want to caution people in that success is not like an end game. There's no kind of like end goal where it's like, okay, I am successful, and then that's it, right? When you're successful, it comes with a whole other set of problems as well in each phase of a growing business. And I think you really truly have to enjoy that process rather than the end goal that you're trying to get to, whether that be to make money or achieve fame or whatever the case is that you define as success. That's never really an end in that process. That process to be successful and to constantly iterate is a never-ending game. And so if you're in the game to just kind of reach the end, I think you probably have to rethink why you're in the game in the first place, because there's really no end to this game of building a business and scaling a business and being successful, right? It really is a never-ending battle, because at every stage of the business you're going to have another set of problems that probably you never encountered before, but there might be other people that have gone through that. So you're acquiring new knowledge and new experience along the way, but you have to be fully comfortable with just that never-ending grind into building a successful business. And so everybody's definition of success is different, but I would tell you that if you truly are dedicated and interested in the process, the fear of failure will never deter you, because the fear of failure is going to be there on day 1 or on day 1000 when you're still doing the same thing, right? That fear of failure is going to keep you on your toes and keep you motivated to get to the next level. It's not going to hold you back to deter you from taking that next step. I think that's really the mindset and approach that I found helpful. So I hope you guys found that helpful. This is a little bit of a different topic. Usually we talk more specific about maybe the embroidery business or the apparel decoration business. Today's topic is a little bit more high level, and I wanted to share that with you guys because I've seen a lot of people be fearful about getting started in any business, and obviously we're in the apparel decoration business, so this a lot of people are afraid of making that jump, making that leap, and I wanted to just share my mindset because I've gone through the same thing, from scaling a business from just less than 10 people to now like close to 150 people. Every step of that process has different challenges and different approaches that you would need to adapt and pivot to, but you learn a lot along the way. And if you truly enjoy that process, I think the fear almost becomes second nature, and you don't really think about it. But if you kind of think about it, that fear is kind of always there. I mean, that fear of failure is what really motivates you to make sure that you execute your plan and not fail, right? And then if you fail, even now we have failures, along that journey, and you just learn. The most important thing is you learn from that. I think it's easy. I think it's easy to say. I think in practice, a lot fewer people actually do it. They kind of just, if they fail, they just really don't analyze, why they failed. And when I say analyze, I don't mean to dwell on that failure. Don't dwell and be kind of like down by it, or brought down by it. But really just analyze from an objective and non-emotional standpoint of why is it that you failed and what I can do differently. And then you just try and experiment the very next thing and then see how that goes. And maybe you can find a little bit of success, and you keep on iterating until it becomes perfected. And then there's another set of challenges, that's in the road ahead. So that grind and that process never really ends. And as an entrepreneur, I think you really have to come to terms with that and accept that as a fact. Otherwise, you're not going to be in it for very long. All right, so I hope that helps. Like I said, if you have any questions about this or follow-up questions about this, I'd be happy to answer that. If you guys want to chime in the comment section below. If you have other questions, which I'll kind of go through now, because I saw a lot of people talk about more specific questions about getting customers in the apparel business and all of that, which I'll kind of address as I go through these questions. But feel free to chime in. I kind of gave all my points. Feel free to chime in down below, any questions you might have about this topic or any other questions that you want to ask me. I'll take the remainder of the next 20 minutes or so to answer these questions as quickly as I can. All right, Nita Girl 2 on YouTube says, getting clients and building a clientele is the hardest thing for me. I need some advice on doing this. Okay, so great question, and probably one that a lot of people have on their minds because they're just starting out and they're kind of worried about not being able to gain clients, right? That's one of the biggest probably fears that people have. If I make this investment into a machine, what if I don't get clients and I can't pay the monthly payments? So a lot of people have asked me about this before, and my answer has always been the same. Don't go all fancy with like advertising and think that obtaining customers is something that is so difficult and so out of my reach and so technical and something that I would need to learn years and years in doing. I think you need to start off small and not worry about all the technicalities of advertising and all these advanced strategies. You'll get there one day. But if you're just starting out, the one thing that I would encourage you to do first and foremost is to look into your most immediate network in getting any referrals or introductions to finding clients. And what I mean by that is the following: if you have connections in the real estate business, if you have connections with schools, if you know friends that own restaurants, or a family that knows people that own restaurants, or having access to a hospital or a daycare or whatever the case is, that you want to offer your embroidery or apparel decoration service to, that can be your in for that warm introduction. It don't have to be cold calling. You don't have to be kind of advertising right off the bat. Start with the low hanging fruit, what I call the low hanging fruit of like just in your most immediate network. Everyone knows someone that can introduce you to some other person that might need your services, right? And maybe that doesn't work out, or maybe it does, but you can build those connections very easily just by looking at your most immediate network, and that doesn't cost you any money. That might that might cost you some time, but that's really all it takes. And you just gotta be willing to do it. You gotta put yourself out there and actually do it, and just ask your friends and family and your local network to see if you can make those introductions. And you never know, you might be able to hit a big account. Then you can, off of those introductions, you can then start doing some small orders, and maybe you definitely have to want to do a good job on that, and then that can slowly spread to other people through word of mouth, by you doing great work for this client, and they might even refer other clients to you. It's like, hey, I know you did these polo shirts for me for my restaurant. I also know another restaurant owner, and people in the industry, especially people like in the restaurant industry, they probably know a lot of people in that own other restaurants, right? And that might be their friends, right? So leveraging kind of your successful clients that you're doing great work for, and then being able to kind of ask for a referral. If you do great work, they might be able to refer you to more clients. So just kind of getting that snowball started can easily get you a sustainable set of clients that you can market to and do work for, that will easily pay your monthly payment and keep your business going. Then only then when you're ready and that you've exhausted this kind of local network and friends and family and getting introductions, only when you've exhausted all of that would I even recommend going into advertising and bringing in new leads. And because that takes a whole process of not only are you acquiring the leads, you got to have a follow-up process. If it's just you probably have to spend a lot of time just following up with customers and giving quotes and all of that. If you're going to spend advertising dollars on acquiring customers, you might want to have a process and a sales process built in, so you can effectively quote those customers and bring in more business. And only then would you want to make those efforts in scaling that, right? But many people that I know in this apparel decoration business, they start out just from their local network, and that's more than enough to keep them busy, because the apparel decoration demand is so high, and every business needs some sort of decorated apparel to brand themselves. So the fact that demand is so high, just your local area can probably keep you very, very busy without even venturing outside. But always know that those are also options that you have once you get to that stage that you can scale with. Designer Development says, same here. I've asked a question a few times before, but he will ignore it. Well, I just answered that question, and I see that you asked a similar question before, so I will get to it once I see it. Yeah, and CJ Pin says, wearing what I make gets me clients. Yeah, that's a great way. I mean, obviously, if you're in the apparel decoration business, I would imagine that you want to wear kind of your brand and your logo everywhere in when you go meet clients, or just when you're walking about, right? It's a conversation starter, and I'm very surprised at how few people actually do that. So when we every year when we have DecoSummit, right? A lot of people that have our products or don't have our products, they or just are interested in the apparel decoration business in general, come to the events, right, to learn. And most of them already have established businesses, but you'll be surprised at how few actually wear their logo either on a hat or on a polo shirts or whatever the case is, wear their logo and branding when they come to the event. You'll be really shocked at how few people actually do that. And that's just a simple way to just have a conversation starter. Like people can see that, oh wow, that's a nice design that you have on the cap. What does this ABC company do, right? What do you do? It's like, oh yeah, well, ABC company is my apparel decoration company. We offer embroidery services, screen printing, sublimation, whatever it is that you do, you can start that conversation. But yeah, if you're in the apparel decoration business, I would imagine that you want to be able to showcase your work there. That's a really easy way to kind of advertise, and it's free, right? So, and I'm sure you go to a lot of places every day, and if you're wearing it, it's just kind of free advertising for you. All right. Darrow McIntyre says, with an EM1010, is there a ceiling or limit to the order you would take on? Not really. There's no like formal ceiling or limit. I would say though that with any single head machine, I guess the quote unquote soft limit, there's no hard limit. You can take on as many orders as you like. But once it gets to a certain point, it becomes a little bit unfeasible to take it on. So that's not a hard limit in any way. But we found that on average, when it starts getting to orders of like 50 pieces and up, and if you're consistently getting like 40, 50 pieces, that will start to become very challenging with a single head machine, and not just an EM1010, with any single head machine. Even a 15 needle or 20 needle machine. Once it gets to 40 to 50 pieces that you're receiving on a regular basis, every couple of days, every 4 or 5 days, every week, 50 pieces, as you can imagine, takes a while to do on a single head machine. If you just have a simple logo of like under 10,000 stitches on a left chest polo, even that will take you at least a week to complete that order. I mean, you're talking about probably only able to do maybe 3-4 polo shirts in a given hour, right? And then it's not like you're working 8 hours a day on just running the machine. I would imagine you need to take bathroom breaks and take a break, take lunch, and also just run your business of like answering customers' emails or whatever the case is, giving quotes. So an order of like 50 polo shirts will easily take you probably 10 to 12 hours of actual embroidering to complete. So if you're only doing 3-4 hours a day, that at least will take you 3-4 days to complete that order. And that's if you're embroidering 3-4 hours straight. So realistically, a 50-piece order typically take people at least 5 days, 5 business days. So it's actually a week to complete it and ship it out. Once it gets to that on a consistent basis, you're receiving 50 pieces every like 3-4 days every week, it becomes quite unfeasible to keep on running that on a single head, because then all you'll be doing is fulfilling orders, and then you won't be drawing up any new business. You won't have any customer acquisition process to get new business, and all you'll be doing is being bogged down by the actual production process of fulfilling the order. And that's when we see people venture into multi-heads to kind of alleviate some of that burden and cut the time in half, or even more, to embroider the same number of pieces. Because you can imagine, you can embroider 50 pieces in about 4 or 5 days on a single head. You can do that in 2-3 days on a 2 head, and on a 4 head you can do that in 1 or 2 days. On a 6 head you can do that in 1 single day, or less than a single day, right? So just running all 6 heads, and if it's 50 pieces, you only need 8 to 9 runs. Essentially 9 runs to complete the order. Every run will take you 10-20 minutes maybe, and by the end of like the business day, you'll be able to get all those 50 pieces done. So that's how these larger embroiderers, they're able to pump out these orders much faster, and therefore have tighter margins and be more competitive when offering their pricing. Candice Garza says, local uniform service companies use embroiderers, and sometimes their current embroiderers get backed up. Approach them and offer, there's enough work for all of us. Yeah, so what you're talking about is contract embroidery, right? So these large embroidery shops, they might be overwhelmed with some orders, and they contract some of those out to smaller embroiderers to be able to fulfill those type of orders. So sometimes they get overwhelmed, they might not be able to fulfill that order. They would still want to retain the client, but can contract you to do just that job. And so even that, can definitely create some overflow and keep some people busy. Speaking of which, I wanted to get some of your guys' thoughts on this, because contract embroidery and kind of being able to divert some of the overflow, and especially when one embroiderer is overwhelmed, is something that I'm very interested in exploring, because it's very common in the industry, right? Like you might have an influx of orders one day, and then you're like, oh wow, I can't possibly fulfill this on time, but I still want to make this business happen, make this order happen. So therefore, you might have to contract someone else to increase your capacity. One thing I wanted to see kind of what your guys' thoughts are is for our Garmio platform, we're also thinking about creating essentially a platform in a service within that platform to allow different embroiderers to kind of send to the marketplace their oversized orders or their overflow of orders. So what I mean by that is this: if an embroiderer is like, oh man, I have these 10 orders that I can't get to, they can kind of send that order to the marketplace and allow people to kind of bid on it, or they request a price on it that I want to pay this much on the contract embroidery, and then people can bid on it and then kind of get assigned the bid to actually take on that contract. So would something like this be helpful? Let me know in the comments and in the chat section if that's something that will be helpful for you guys, whether it's with embroidery, whether it's with like printing, like screen printing or direct garment printing, or heat transfer with heat transfer vinyl or sublimation, like any overflow of orders, being able to go on a platform like Garmio and be able to kind of specify the specifications of your overflow order, and then get it bid out to the marketplace, and someone can take that on. Because I see all the time in Facebook groups, like somebody just posting, hey, I got this order of like 100 caps that I can't get to. Can someone go ahead and someone in Texas, take on this order? And then a bunch of people is like, hey, yeah, I'm in Texas, or I'm in the surrounding states, PM me for more details, etc. So like to automate that and get it out to more people, anybody that joins this network and platform can get access to people that and it can be between each other as well, right? So like if you're kind of looking to contract this out to someone else, you can post your job there, and people can bid on it, or you can just kind of search for bids that other people are requesting and bid on that. So it works both sides. And then if you're under capacity, you can take on more. You might submit your bid. If you're over capacity, you can submit your request onto the platform and get other people to bid on that. So I think that's essentially a huge request that I see a lot of people make in Facebook groups, and I just wanted to see what are your thoughts on automating that with a platform, so it gets access to more people, not just on a Facebook group that only 10 people sees that post. This is a platform that can be blasted out to hundreds, if not thousands, of embroiderers and also other decorators that might specialize in other things, right? Like that just doesn't have to be just embroidery. It could be with printing, it could be with heat transfer, it could be with sublimation. So let me know if that's something that's helpful for you guys. Okay, so yeah, quite a few people says that this is a great idea. So it might be something that we can implement next into our platform here. Okay. Dope Lottie says, can you give us more info on the TC1501? Sure. That is our single head commercial embroidery machine. It obviously has 15 needles as described by the 1501. And it has a maximum embroidery area of 22 by 14 inches. So more than enough to embroider on, jacket backs, bags, large multicolored designs on the surface. So that's our kind of the entry level of our commercial models. So TC1501 is the most affordable and smallest of our commercial models, right? And when I say commercial, it means excluding the EM1010. The EM1010 is a semi-commercial and entry-level machine. The TC1501 is kind of the next step up from that. It's within the commercial series, and it has 15 needles, a larger embroidery area, stitches up to 1,200 stitches per minute in speed, so about 20% faster than the EM1010. And it can embroider 270 degrees on caps as well. So from ear to ear in one single run. We have demonstrated that on our YouTube channel, although on an MT 1501 and 1502, but the TC can also do 270 degree cap rotation. So that's kind of a general overview of the TC. It's right under $15,000 for the price. And it comes with everything you need, like the hoops, the accessories, cap attachment, threads, bobbin, all the starter kit, and training and ongoing lifetime 7 days and after hour support. So those are things that come included. If you have any other specific questions you might want to know, follow up on that, or contact one of our product specialists, and you can speak with them directly. Pat Fossum says, are the hoops plastic or wood? They are plastic. Charlene Phillips asks, what is the difference between the MT1501 and the SWD machine? Okay, that's a great question. And MT1501 and the SWD are both commercial models. They both have 15 needles, right? The major difference is the SWD. One major difference is that the SWD has a 8S control panel versus the MT1501 has a 7S control panel. So the SWD has a next generation upgraded 8-inch control panel versus a 7-inch control panel on the MT1501. That being said, if you want to buy the MT20 needle machine, MT2001, that does have the 8S panel. So it's MT2001 8S. That is the latest and greatest MT series machine that has the 8S control panel. The 8S control panel gives you several great things. It has Wi-Fi that's built in, so you can connect it to your computer via Wi-Fi and send designs directly from your Chroma software via Wi-Fi to the control panel. Also, it has a lot of other features on there, like file management. You're able to manage your files accordingly, and some other features on the 8S panel that's more advanced than the 7S. The second biggest difference is the embroidery area. MT1501 already boasts a very sizable embroidery area, 22 by 14 inches, and it has a great clearance of depth to allow bulky items like jackets and bags. The SWD kind of takes that to a whole nother level. The SWD has a 32 by 20 embroidery area, so wider and deeper of an embroidery area. And that really allows really kind of, bulky items, duffel bags, backpacks, things of that nature, jackets. Also, it allows, large designs on tablecloth, table runners, curtains, flags, sashes. We've seen a lot of people use SWD for that purpose. On top of that, the SWD is super helpful for embroidering bulk patches. Because of the larger embroidery area, this all has to do with the large embroidery area that the SWD has. It allows you to fit a lot more patches in one single run. The SWD can probably fit like anywhere between like 30 to 40 patches in one single run on the sash frame. The patches that you can fit, the MT can still fit a very sizable amount, but the SWD just takes that to a whole nother level with the embroidery size that it's able to offer. So if you're really looking for the SWD really comes specialized in, it's wider and much deeper to allow much bulkier items and larger designs. All right, I got a couple of that SWD means super wide. So yes, that's a good way to remember what the capabilities and the specifications of that machine is for. So the SWD is really wide to be able to accommodate a lot more variety of things. It's lighter. All of these specifications, by the way, are on Ricoma.com. You can even it even has a compare machine. And if you're looking to do mugs, video on our YouTube channel on showing you how to connect to Wi-Fi and send your designs from your computer to your control panel. Better file management. Why that's the latest and greatest on the control panel. So a lot of the firmware updates will be on the 8S and the 720 needle. So the 20 needle is the MT series. So it's the same differences between the SWD and the MT1501 except the SWD. Oh, and the MT 2001, actually, the 20 needle machine actually has a new thread break detection module, better detect thread breaks and bobbin breaks. So that is something that's different than the SWD and also something different than the MT 1501. I saw, I mean, that's... okay, it's difficult. Okay, sorry. We had some bad signal. It seems like I'm back now. But yeah, I was just saying that everybody's learning curve is different. So it really depends on your amount of time that you can dedicate to the successful in the business. We're just gonna announce the winner of the DecoSummit ticket. So the winner for our DecoSummit general admission ticket, one free ticket to attend DecoSummit, is gonna be Candice Garza. Candice Garza, if you're here, please comment down below so we know that you are here, and our team will be able to get you the access code for that ticket. Candice Garza, all right, is the winner of the free DecoSummit ticket. So congrats to Candice. And I hope you guys found this information helpful, and I was able to answer some of your questions. As I mentioned, we do have our Labor Day sale going on until next Friday. Okay, we do have our Labor Day sale going on until next Friday. So make sure you take advantage of that if you're looking to get started in the embroidery business. We are also doing for that promo, we are doing $135 per month with 0% financing for the embroidery machine packages. We are also offering free shipping up to $1,500 for those embroidery machine packages. So if you're looking to get into an embroidery machine, during this time, this will be the good time to take advantage of that. You also get a free Chroma upgrade if you're looking to buy a TC, MT, any commercial single head machine. You are going to get a free upgrade to Chroma Plus. If you buy a multi-head commercial machine, you get a free upgrade to Chroma Lux, which is upwards of $2,000 in value. All right. We also have our sale going on shop.ricoma.com for 10% off of any heat press and sewing machines plus free shipping on from now till next Friday. So you can complement your existing business with heat presses or sewing machines to sew on patches, and 20% off of any Chroma digitizing software and embroidery accessories such as the 8-in-1 device and the robot frame and belt hoop, as well as I mentioned, 20% off of Chroma digitizing software if you're looking to upgrade or purchase it outright. Okay, so that's it for us for today. Oh, and by the way, last thing, Candice obviously made was the giveaway winner for the free DecoSummit ticket. If you aren't Candice and you're looking to attend the DecoSummit this year and you haven't already purchased your tickets, they are going up another $200 tomorrow. So today is the last day of the month, and the last day before tickets go up in price. It's going to be another $200 more starting tomorrow, September 1st. And not only are you going to get the tickets at a discounted price now for the next essentially, what is it? It's like 9 hours between now and midnight. We do have a flash sale that's going to give an extra 10% off of current DecoSummit ticket prices, all right? If you use the code DECO10, DECO10, if you use the code DECO10 on DecoSummit.com between now and midnight of today, you get DecoSummit tickets for 10% off what's already discounted on the website. All right. So I hope that helps. Again, congrats to Candice Garza for winning the DecoSummit ticket. I hope you use it and see you there at the actual event. And I hope you guys found this information helpful today about how to conquer your fear of growing or starting out in the custom apparel business. I hope I was able to kind of give you some of my mindset and experience in dealing with that. And I hope I was able to answer some of your questions about machine types and how to gain more customers in the business. All of this, I hope you really implement it into your business. Whether you haven't even started and just kind of thinking about it, I hope to see you at DecoSummit to kind of, so you can really see the machines hands-on and get a feel for it. Or if you're already in the business and you're looking to scale it further, I hope all of this mindset will help you kind of take your business to the next level. If you're interested to check out any of our social channels, make sure to follow them down below. We're obviously very active on Instagram. We also post a lot of Instagram stories where you can see a lot of the tips and tricks, as well as embroiderers that have used our machine to produce great work. You can see that there, and we also constantly ask questions for viewers to submit questions on Instagram stories. So if you're interested to submit your questions so they can get answered in the next episode, make sure to follow us on Instagram there. We're obviously very active on YouTube, as you can see, over 100,000 subs here, and a lot of content and tutorials to help you guys along the way. And finally on TikTok at Ricoma HQ as well for some entertaining content that you can follow us on there. Okay, so thank you guys so much for watching, and hope to see you guys back here next month. Take care.